Welcome to Innovating Clinical Trials, the podcast designed for clinical research professionals eager to deepen their understanding of clinical trials through concise, insightful segments. Join your hosts, Liam Eves and Ted Trafford, as they uncover the core issues in clinical research, reflect on the industry, and challenge conventional wisdom.
Ted, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Liam. How are you today?
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to ask you a question actually first. How many tabs do you have open on your computer at the minute?
So normally you'd get me with this one, but today, right now, I only have 3. But what you should have asked was how many Word documents do I have open all at the same time?
Okay.
A really large number.
How many screens have you got open?
A lot. Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I'm just looking at mine.
I need to add a new monitor. How many do you have open?
Oh, God. I've got 3 Internet Explorers open with God knows how many tabs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, just 3. Oh, yeah. I'm all in.
Okay.
I've got 3 that I can see presentations and 2 Word documents and this as well. So I think that says everything about me.
No wonder your connection slows down and our audio gets jumpy. Now we know the cause.
I need to do something about it.
Yeah, we got to fix that.
Mind.
Listen, I'm going to dive right in.
Go for it.
Today. And what you know who David Letterman is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So David Letterman had this segment that he used to do called like the top 10. And so just think on those lines. I've got a top 10 for you. Okay.
Go.
So from the home office in Flin Flon, Manitoba, here are the top 10 signs your site feasibility process is a total train wreck. Number 10, the new portal. We have a brand new electronic portal just so you can retype the address you've given us for 20 years. Number 9, the guessing game. We emailed the form to you personally, but please type your name and email 14 more times or the submit button won't work. Number 8, the War and Peace survey. It's totally reasonable to demand a 50-page questionnaire for a phase 1 study on hangnails. Number 7, the instant lawsuit. We sent a CDA that's so restrictive that you actually breached it just by thinking about opening the attachment. Number 6, the one-way mirror. Our secrets are protected by international law. Your secrets are basically public domain. The bait and switch. Number 5, we changed every inclusion criteria since June, but we're still holding you to those enrollment numbers you guessed while eating a sandwich. Number 4, the ghosting. 8 months of radio silence, followed by a 2 a.m. email asking the site to start immediately. Number 3, the impossible patient, asking for participants who have a rare genetic mutation but have never taken a single Advil in their lives. Number 2, the fire drill. Forget about that patient you're consenting. We need to know your freezer's serial number now. And the number 1 sign your site feasibility process is a total train wreck, the information embargo. We won't tell you the details you need to know about the study, but we need a blood oath promising 30 patients a month.
The bait and switch.
The bait and switch, yeah. So, it's so weird. I can't even tell you how these things pop into my head, but at the most useless times too. But fortunately, I tend to scribble down a few notes.
Absolutely brilliant. I think that the reality though is that like you've got to, as soon as you started like introducing some of these, I had a rough general direction of where it was going because I felt that pain. And you're just like, why don't we do something a little better than this?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like, why are some of the things the way they are and why haven't we fixed them yet? Like, why doesn't somebody step back and say, wait a second.
Yeah,
this doesn't make sense. And if we think about feasibility, what we should be thinking about is, and really I think the question that sponsors and CROs should be asking is, what approach should we take to identify and attract the sites with the highest potential for success? And how are we going to support them to increase the chances of their success?
Yeah.
If that was our approach to feasibility, site feasibility, I think there would be dramatic changes in the outcomes of enrollment in clinical trials.
Yeah, and I think we just like, I don't know if it's us trying to create jobs for ourselves in the sense of we go, okay, we'll just ask this additional piece of information, or we'll put out this, and it just, we then stack bad on bad.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I've been reading I think it's Isaac Walters or Walterson or something, his book on Elon Musk recently. Don't know if you've ever seen it. It's intense. Dude is intense. I would not want to be him. And he has this really interesting process, and I don't think it applies quite so much to trials, but like one of the first steps, he calls it the algorithm, and it's this 5-step process where he says, okay, every question every requirement and assign ownership to it, then delete aggressively. Then he says only then you start to simplify and optimize the process point. Then once you've simplified and optimized, you then look at how do you accelerate the cycle time, which is essentially increase the time or decrease the time between process 1, process 2, and so on and so forth. And only then do you have to automate. And I think that I was like thinking about this process and thinking about, it's pretty interesting that there's like, we never really stop and think about what has been done previously and say, is that the right thing that now exists? And a little story about this is that my father-in-law was driving us to Cincinnati Airport, and we're coming up to this stop, and I'm like I'm thinking, why the hell is he stopping? There's this stop sign and this sign that shows a roundabout, which there's not that many in the States, at least that I've seen. And I'm waiting for him to go, knowing that there's no traffic, because guess what? There is no roundabout. The roundabout had been removed like 6 months ago. And there's still this like sign, but everyone abides to it because it's there, which obviously they need to do. But no one's gone, actually, this thing has now changed, and therefore let's remove everything else that's attached with it. And I feel that like part of the problem is that just that thinking of saying, okay, what do we need to remove in order to build afresh? And if something has changed, what are the second, third, fourth, or the consequences of that change?
Yeah, I love that. I was having a conversation with like a clinical trial vendor, and they're explaining to me that, because I had recommended a suggestion to improve enrollment in studies. And they said, the response I got was, we don't really get the information that we need from the sponsor in enough time in order to make that happen. And my brain doesn't really function that way. So I just kept asking questions, and so found out that the amount of time that it takes, or the lead time that they get the information they need for the study. And so then my next question to them, is, okay, so that's the amount of time we got to work with.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to make this happen in that time?
Yeah.
So rather than approaching it that it can't be done, what needs to be done, and how do we get there?
Exactly. I think there's a great framing point on that, which is like, the first question to ask yourself, does it defy the laws of physics?
Right.
And if the answer is yes, then it can't be done. If it's no, it can be done. It's just a question of like, how far do you have to push, or how late?
What resources are needed?
Exactly.
Or what, exactly. What processes are needed ahead of time so that it can be kicked into gear quicker.
Absolutely. And of course, like in our industry, there's regulations and there's legalities and things like that that are all there for good purpose. But then there's a question to say, okay, how are those things interpreted? I don't know about you, but I've seen things where people have interpreted regulations one particular way, and they've set up systems and processes around that. And that's not even the interpretation of the regulation, and they've just added a ton of effort. And you're like, guys, that's not what it's set out to do. It's set out to do this other thing to protect X, Y, and Z, and therefore just rip all that stuff out and save yourself a lot of heartache. So that was a fun. We'll have to get David Letterman back on and do another top 10.
Hashtag David Letterman. Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
Have
sir.
a great day, Liam.
You too. Take care. Bye.